My channel hit a major milestone recently, and it all started with me waking up one morning and seeing that I had made 69 cents of revenue. Nice. I'm not at the 1,000 subscriber mark yet, so I still can't make money from people simply watching the videos, though we are inching closer to that point. However, at 500 subscribers, YouTube puts that responsibility on the viewers for the time being. And of course they take a cut because that's how business is. So I made 69 cents by having someone become a member of my channel at the $1 tip jar level. And let me give my biggest thanks to Sean Shiny Shoes for being my first member. I don't get overjoyed much, so I have a hard time blowing up with enthusiasm, so sorry if I seem a little disingenuous. It's unfortunately just my resting bitch face and tone. I truly do appreciate what you've done for me, and it makes me feel like all this is a little more worth it. I'm also reading from a script, but that is to rein myself in because I could talk for a long time about these next subjects I wanted to talk about, which are YouTube, the world around it, and how it and the real world have all been affecting my mental health lately. So let's get into it. I've been working on this channel for about 4.5 years, and working on YouTube videos in general for so much longer. And it wasn't until October 17th of 2023 that I started having any real success, with the upload of my first video talking about trying to fix the Ender 3 V3 SE 3D printer. And that is where my first deep-rooted sadness and insecurity comes from regarding continuing doing YouTube. These videos about the V3 SE single-handedly blew up my channel, at least relatively, compared to any of my other content. The only others that can follow up are my tutorials about reducing the preprint purge from Bambu Labs 3D printers, but those still didn't do nearly as well as these other videos. Which, by the way, I think that the fact that those Ender 3 V3 SE videos, even today, are still carrying my channel, I think that's a tribute to how good that machine is. And of course by that I mean that it's a absolutely terrible machine because people are constantly looking up how to fix it and its problems. But that's the problem for me. First of all, I didn't even really want to be a 3D printing channel. 3D printing has been a great tool for me, but it is by far not my passion. Yet that is what most of my subscribers and viewers are expecting from me, and that worries me. Even the few 3D printing videos that I make now are never as successful as those original ones in the first place, and I am struggling to find my way to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm fairly sure my main problem is that I don't post just one subject of content on my channel, because I have many interests and doing one thing for a long time will bore the hell out of me. The other problem is that making videos is basically all that I know how to do in life. I haven't been able to get a basic entry-level job because I have such a gap in my work history, among other things. I think the real main issue for me not getting a job is the way that most companies go about their hiring process in general, but that's a whole other subject. But my point is that I kind of need this to work out because it's the only thing that I feel that I'm competent at and can feel good about myself doing. But I might even be wrong about being competent about it based on real-life metrics. So that leads me to my next topic. There are so many metrics and strategies and so much general BS to YouTube. I've even been watching a few videos like how to get more views on YouTube or how to break from the 1,000 subscriber purgatory in desperation because I've been feeling kind of crappy lately about myself and my, performance. I've been feeling this way because I've been working so hard, at least I feel like I have been, for me personally and what I'm capable of, but it just never seems to matter. The tips in these videos mentioned a few seconds ago are usually something so minimal it actually does nothing, despite the title being something like increase your views 400% or some garbage like that. Or if the tips are helpful, they are the most general garbage that they are so general that they too also mean nothing. And there are at least 50 videos saying the same things over and over again that are titled like these, and they're all just basically being clickbait at this point. Mainly because they have nothing new and they don't really help. Unless you're really not doing the basics of doing proper YouTube or whatever, but whatever. It all seems especially unhelpful when you are a channel like mine, where you can't really make clickbait thumbnails, and titles are difficult without being complete clickbait or misleading, and the video mainly consists of practical information, not just pure entertainment. The rules presented to making a good video are having an intriguing thumbnail and title, have an intro that has people asking questions or hooks them in some other way, then having a good progression in the body to keep people watching throughout the video. But of course, there are a million outliers to this theory and formula. In reality, there are no rules to success on YouTube. What has to happen is the video has to get shown to the right people, and that's basically it. People will watch anything, yet the people who click on things often will watch nothing, if that makes sense. The thumbnail and title have to be good enough to be clicked on, especially when compared to other videos which are usually numbing brain rot designed to get your stupid monkey ib to just simply click on it. And that's not the end of the fight. In fact, it's only just begun, because now that someone is watching your video, the system is going to be even more critical of your video. And if the viewer's dumb monkey brain tells them to click off within the first 30 seconds of the video, which is more common than you'd think, then your video gets major down karma to the possibility of being recommended again to more and other people, unless there are enough people who actually watch the video to offset those metrics. Except if it doesn't get recommended to the right people, it doesn't get clicked on by people who will actually watch the video, and may get clicked on by randos who weren't even interested in the video in the first place. They are just simply clicking, scrolling, or tapping just to do so. At least that's what it feels like much of the time. And then either the video dies or it just takes months to get minimal views in the first place. It is all just so infuriating, and when people say they have the answers, they don't. There is no rhyme or reason to what truly works outside of just curating essentially TV show content. The only time that it seems like something for sure works is when you're doing something groundbreaking and you market it good enough to get your first 1,000 clicks at least. But you know what? I've tried doing that a few times. The main one that comes to mind was my video about... Where are they? Hang on. My video about these headphones. There's a decent bit of details about these, but basically they come really close to being a really good live music practice tool, or something to even wear to live concerts and such to still have a great listening quality while reducing the overall sound. And I have seen no videos about this application for these, mainly because they have a really big fault for that application. But I was hoping that the video would get big and entice the companies to fix the problem and make the product more friendly for these scenarios and use cases. But unfortunately, the video just never took off, faded away, and was never seen by basically anybody. Even when I tried remarketing the video using YouTube Shorts, it didn't change much. I don't know if the thumbnail just wasn't good enough, isn't good enough. I tried my best to make an intriguing title without misleading people, and I even used a tool to check and make sure that it would be fully visible on the recommended sidebar, but it just all meant nothing. None of it mattered. There was also this situation a while ago where I was trying to market my main content with Shorts again, and I was making this series called Guitar Tone Tested, and I was trying different effects pedals in front of and behind drive guitar pedals. They performed a little better than the average content, but not as good as they should have if I were a successful YouTuber. But anyway, I made Shorts to try and expand the audience and bring in new people, of course, and redraw attention to the video. The short clips didn't get many views or likes though, except for a couple. But it turns out those couple of successful shorts were only a handful of seconds long and basically had nothing of substance or anything in them. Yet they received more views, more likes, and even less dislikes than the properly made shorts. So that leads me to believe that maybe I'm not even the problem here. It's the borderline brain-dead general viewership of YouTube. Yet if I want to succeed, I need to appeal to these people? There's no freaking way. There's nothing going on in those people's head if that's what they like to watch. How do you even read what those fools would desire in a video? It's so frustrating and demoralizing. And generally, I don't know how to improve because of statistics like these. How do I make actually good content and get people to watch it? I also want to add here that I don't think every one of my videos is pure gold and that it should be viewed by everyone for any reason. But for content that I thought was genuinely good and I really was proud of it, it didn't matter, and that's what doesn't make sense to me. Because based on all of these observations, people don't even want good content. People want to think they are learning or gaining knowledge or getting the answers they are seeking, when usually they aren't actually getting that as long as it comes quickly to them, which is basically the opposite of my channel for those who wouldn't know. On my channel, I try to explain things in depth and try to give the most detail and most important information and give them a complete picture of what's happening in the subject that I'm covering. But the majority of people have the brains of goldfish and can't pay attention long enough to gather the knowledge that they actually want and need. To a certain degree, I have been the same way lately, but that's because my schedule has been so packed trying to keep up with all of the things that I'm trying to do to succeed. I'm constantly working on things. I don't have time to watch these videos, but I'm also probably making things worse, for myself in this whole grand process. For a little while now, I think I've been kind of accidentally shotgunning life, where I've been going in too many directions all at once, trying desperately to find an answer to being able to get paid to do something without getting depressed a month after starting and getting too burnt out to continue on. But also, like I said, if I focus on one thing for super long periods of time, I just get bored and burnt out and get sick of it. So that's, my main problem with that. And I still don't have an answer to basically any of it. And neither does anyone else, apparently. I don't know how to improve, I don't know what direction to take, and I don't know what life is going to throw at me tomorrow to make it all a little more difficult than it was yesterday. But I'm still here, and I'm still trying. I just don't know if either of those facts actually matter.